Hi, I'm Tatjana Pasalic, and I'm a sideline reporter for many poker places I have been for many years. Growing up was fun. I grew up in Croatia, just after Yugoslavia fell apart. So some part of my childhood was during the war. That was pretty scary. And then the war ended, and then it was better. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it was better, but as the country was recovering, everybody was kind of trying to find their place. So it was at times difficult. Growing up, I always thought I want to make enough money to own a car, and I wanted to have an animal, whether it's a dog or a cat, that I could put in the car. I always thought I'm gonna get a bigger car, maybe like a Mini Morris. I grew up in Europe, and I was like, I'll take my 2 weeks off from work. I didn't know what I'm going to do yet, but I knew I'm going to have 2 weeks off. And I'll just sit in the car and drive until I'm tired, and then I'll just have vacation there. I didn't really look at the map and think, well, if you drive for 12 hours, you'll be in Norway, and then there's like water, and you can't go anywhere else. But that was what I was dreaming of. And other things I was dreaming of is I always wanted to go to America. My mom and I were binging on Santa Barbara. We watched every single episode, and then it was crazy. In Croatia, that show was so popular. When Eden died, old women were paying for service in church, so Cruz finds her. Yeah, I mean, can't blame them, but he found her, so that was all good. I always wanted to go to Santa Barbara. I wanted to go, oh my God, I just wanted to go to the States. And when I started working, it was impossible. Yeah, I was 19, I was working an entry-level job, and tickets to America were like 20,000 local money, and I was making 3,500 a month. So I was like, even if I somehow miraculously gathered the money, what am I going to do in America? But I wanted to go to Santa Barbara. I was studying languages. I was studying Greek and Latin, and then I went and studied, at the same time I signed up for Spanish. I had obligatory German and English. I studied a little bit of Hebrew. That didn't go that well because I spent 2 weeks learning the word, and then I read it and it was mayonnaise, and I was like, that's not even a Hebrew word, so I was really upset. So that didn't go that well. Yeah, mainly languages, and then I studied broadcasting in college. So like super fast forward, I was working in Malta in customer service in poker. I was at a 9-to-5 office, but they let us go to EPTs and other things, so I would kind of have time to, get this thing out. And I'd like, okay, now I'm gonna go back to the office. So it was a good balance. I met Kara, and she just left PokerStars. And she said, oh, they're looking for somebody, why don't you audition? And I was like, I've never been on camera, woman. She's like, that's okay, you can always audition, what comes out of it? I auditioned, obviously didn't get the job, but I thought, oh man, I could be on camera. That could be a cool job. So then that was that. I met McLean, 6 years ago? Oh, 6 years ago, oh my God. I'll never forget meeting McLean because we were in Vienna, we were doing the WPT high roller, and this was just the beginning of these high rollers that were kind of like, the biggest tournament then was like a 20K, and people were all hyped up about it. So he was playing the high roller, and it was a 6 max, and I was like, this is great, because I want to go to Bratislava tonight, and the whole crew, it was the end of the WPT, and then we were starting another one tomorrow, and I was like, I want to go for dinner, it's going to be my evening off, this is going to be awesome. And so I was looking at all the people that are playing the tournament, and Matt Savage was there, and I was talking to him, all of a sudden I heard an American accent, and I was like, wow, that's so unusual, because in Europe, once you hear the American accent, you're like, oh, who's that? And I was like, hey, who's that? And he goes, oh, that's the chip leader, McLean Carr. And I was like, wow, I will never remember that guy's name. I really liked him. I just really thought that he is different and like that he's really cool. So I decided to pursue him, which is everything my mom would tell me not to do. Well, I am married, I have a dog. Sometimes I have 2 dogs. Shout out to Izzo. I am somewhere where I never thought I would be when I was 19. I went to Santa Barbara many times.